Swami Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasati Gaur Bhaktarun Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna everyone. So welcome all of you to this very unique class, right? So this is very interesting format where every week we will discuss only one shloka, one verse. And that verse, we will read the verse, translation and purport, and we will open the forum for everybody to speak. So you will tell your realization. What do you understand out of the shloka? And then we will discuss towards the end. Okay, we'll try to improve our understanding about this shloka. So today we have a very wonderful verse, very, very exciting and exhilarating verse, where Lord Krishna is encouraging Arjuna and at the same time chastising him also. So let's begin. Here we go. Okay, who wants to read the verse? Who wants to read the verse?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Shailaja Mataji, go ahead, please.
Kutastva kashmalamidam vishame samupasthitam anaryajustam swargya kirti karam Arjuna. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. The same thing is in English, I believe, Prabhuji.
The same thing you don't need to repeat. Okay.
Yes.
You can read the synonyms. That's also nice.
Synonym. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Kutaha, where from? Tva, unto you. Kashmalam, dirtiness. Idam, this lamentation. Vishame, in this hour of crisis. Samupasthitam, arrived. Anarya, persons who do not know the value of life. Jushtam, practiced by. Asavargyam, which does not lead to higher planets. Akirti, infamy. Karam, the cause of. Arjuna, O Arjuna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare
Can
Krishna.
anybody read the translation?
Shall I read, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji.
Translation. Hare Krishna. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, My dear Arjuna, how have these impurities come upon you? They are not at all befitting a man who knows the values of life. They lead not to higher planets, but to infamy. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Who wants to read the purport?
Prabhuji, can I read?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Krishna and the Supreme Personality of Godhead are identical. Therefore, Lord Krishna is referred to as Bhagavan throughout the Gita. Bhagavan is the ultimate in the absolute truth. The absolute truth is realized in three phases of understanding, namely Brahman or the impersonal all-pervasive spirit, Paramatma or the localized aspect of the Supreme within the heart of all living entities, and Bhagavan or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 1, Chapter 2, verse 11, this conception of the absolute truth is explained thus: Vadanti tat tattva vidas tattvam yajnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti sabhyate. The absolute truth is realized in three phases of understanding by the knower of the absolute truth, and all of them are identical. Such phases of the absolute truth are expressed as Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Can anybody else read the rest of the purport? Suresh Prabhu, can you read? Indira Haridas Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, go ahead. Yeah. Can you please read? It's possible.
These three divine aspects can be explained by the examples of the sun, which also has three different aspects, namely the sunshine, the sun surface, and the sun planet itself. One who studies the sunshine only is the preliminary student. One who understands the sun surface is further advanced, and one who can enter into the sun planet is the highest. Ordinary students who are satisfied by simply understanding the sunshine, its universal pervasiveness, and the glaring effulgence of its impersonal nature may be compared to those who can realize only the Brahman feature of the absolute truth. The student who has advanced still further can know the sun disk, which is compared to the knowledge of the Paramatma future of the absolute truth. And the student who can enter into the heart of the sun planet is compared to those who realize the personal features of the supreme absolute truth. Therefore, the Bhaktas or the transcendentalists who have realized the Bhagavan future of the absolute truth are the topmost transcendentalists. Although all students who are engaged in the study of the absolute truth are engaged in the same subject matter. The sunshine, the sun disk, and the inner affairs of the sun planet cannot be separated from one another, and yet the students of the three different phases are not in the same category.
Thank you, Mataji.
The Sanskrit.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Mataji. Yes. Suresh Prabhu, can you read? Or anybody can read?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, go ahead, Suresh Prabhu. Yes, please.
The Sanskrit word Bhagavan is explained by the great authority Parasara Muni, the father of Vyasadeva, the Supreme Personality who possesses all riches, all strength, all fame, all beauty, all knowledge, and all the renunciation is called Bhagavan. There are many persons who are very rich, very powerful, very beautiful, very famous, very learned, and very much detached. But no one can claim that they possess all riches, all strength, etc. entirely. Only Krishna can claim this because he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No living entity, including Brahma, Lord Shiva, or Narayana, can possess opulences as fully as Krishna. Therefore, it is concluded in the Brahma Samhita by Lord Brahma himself that Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No one is equal to or above him. He is the primeval Lord, or Bhagavan, known as Govinda, and he is the supreme cause of all causes. Ishvara, Hare Krishna Prabhu. Ishvara Paramaha Krishnaha Satchidananda Vigraha Anandir Adir Govindaha Sarve Karanam. There are many personalities possessing the qualities of Bhagavan, but Krishna is the supreme because none can excel him. He is the supreme person and his body is eternal, full of knowledge and bliss. He is the primeval Lord, Govinda, and the cause of all causes. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Yes, anybody who has not read so far can read.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji. Yes, go ahead. Yes.
Eta chamsha kalaha pumsha.
This one.
Krishna
Sorry.
tu Bhagavan.
Sorry to interrupt. This one also.
Sorry. Okay, sorry. 1 minute. In the Bhagavatam also, there is a list of many incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But Krishna is described as the original personality of Godhead, from whom many incarnations and personalities of Godhead expand. Ete chamsha kalaha pumsha Krishna tu Bhagavan Swayam Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Vridyanti Yuge Yuge. All the list of the incarnation of Godhead submitted herewith are either plenary expansion or parts of the plenary expansion of the Supreme Godhead. But Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. Bhagavatam 1.3.28. Therefore, Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, the absolute truth, the source of both the super soul and the impersonal Brahman. In the presence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Arjuna's lamentation for his kinsman is certainly unbecoming, and therefore Krishna expressed his surprise with the word kuta, where from. Such impurities were never expected from a person belonging to the civilized class of men known as Aryans. The word Aryan is applicable to persons who know the value of life and have a civilization based on spiritual realization. Persons who are led by the material conception of life do not know that the aim of the life is the realization of the absolute truth, Vishnu or Bhagavan, and they are captivated by the external features of the material world, and therefore they do not know what liberation is. Persons who have no knowledge of liberation from material bondage are called non-Aryans. Although Arjuna was a Kshatriya, he was deviating from his prescribed duties by declining to fight. This act of cowardice is described as befitting the non-Aryans. Such to scroll, Prabhuji.
Is it okay?
Such deviation from duty does not help one in the progress of spiritual life, nor does it even give one the opportunity to become famous in this world. Lord Krishna did to move.
You're not able to
Lord
read this?
Krishna
No. Did not approve.
Scroll, Prabhuji. No, it's not moving. The page is not moved.
One minute, sorry.
Yeah, 1 minute. It's gone.
No, 1 minute. Just see now.
Yeah. No, I can't see now.
Okay. Mataji, just finish the statement. It's okay.
Yeah, please, Prabhuji. Yeah,
Yeah,
I got
only
it.
one line is pending. Huh?
Yeah, I
Lord
got
Krishna did not approve so-called compassion of Arjuna for his kinsman.
Okay. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you everybody for reading the verse, translation, word-to-word meaning, and the purport. Okay, now here is the discussion open. So I want each of you to summarize. What is your takeaway from this verse? What is your understanding? Okay. So it's going to be very interesting, Shloka. Such a wonderful purport. Such a long purport. You saw? Such a long purport. Srila Prabhupada. So very nice. Okay, let's begin. Who wants to go first? Yes. So, okay, I will ask Suresh Prabhu, would you like to summarize your understanding from this shloka? What do you think, Lord Krishna is trying to say in this verse?
Prabhu, can you again show that verse, Prabhu?
Sure. We'll show you that. 1 second.
Which verse is this, Prabhuji, from the book?
This is 2.2.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So in the meantime, others also, you can note your points. You can take your notepad and note down points. If you want some time, I will give you URLs. If you want some time, you can take 2 minutes and try to jot down the points.
So Krishna is surprised at Arjuna. Arjuna being a great warrior, and he has come prepared. At the last moment, he is getting confused. So the Godhead, Krishna asked him, it is unfit or to see such impurities upon you. He is also surprised. The God himself is surprised at Arjuna's behavior and his confusion and his questions and all that. And he also advises him, he questions him and also advises him that it is not befitting him to exhibit this behavior, and it is not going to give him any benefit, neither in this world nor in the higher planets. So that is the translation. And come down to the purport.
Yes. Prabhu, like maybe it's enough. Yeah, short is
Yeah.
enough. Yeah. So
Okay,
maybe
Prabhu.
whatever you've given is quite good. Okay, so
Okay,
that's
Prabhu.
nice.
All right.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, Prabhu has said some nice points, interesting points, that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is actually surprised at Arjuna doing this. I mean, Arjuna is supposed to be such a great warrior. I mean, till the last minute they were counting on Arjuna that he is going to fight. And now he's like taking a U-turn and he's saying, I don't want to fight. And Krishna thinks that it's absolutely unacceptable behavior from a Kshatriya. That's what like Krishna is telling. Okay, thank you. Who wants to go next? Okay. I will request Maya Devi Mataji, would you like to say your points?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
I'm not sure whether this is correct. I'm like,
No problem. See, there's no correct or wrong. You can tell your points, Mataji. Okay, your opinion, and then we'll discuss that. No problem.
what I've understood is here the Lord's words actually, or his dictum is for us to understand this why life is very valuable. And when he has showered us this blessing, we had to strive to lead to higher planets. Rather and the only like how we have to do it is also his dictum is like by detachment. Because if we lament, if we while away our time lamenting for the rest of the people around, or for people or objects or whatever we have around our world, then we are wasting time according to him. Because and also it's taking away our time to time for devotional service, which would ultimately lead to higher planets. So he doesn't give us like devotional service here, but he says that it is not when you're blessed with life, you are not supposed to while away the time, because it will always lead to infamy in the sense, if Arjuna is a warrior, so infamy to him. And for us, I think if we don't value our time, we lose our purpose of life altogether, and we come back to life again. I don't know, Prabhuji, if that is my take on it. Like,
No
how
problem.
to
Sure,
value
sure,
our
sure.
life.
No problem. Thank you, Mataji. You added some interesting points here.
Hare Krishna,
Can I?
Prabhuji. Thank
Yes.
you.
Yes, Mataji, you wanted to say something?
Yes. Prabhuji, it's like, the whole year a child is prepared for an examination.
Okay.
Arjuna has been thinking from 13 long years that he's going to fight Duryodhan. And when Krishna places his chariot in front of Bhishma Pitama and Drona, he doesn't want to do the examination. He just wants to put his weapon down. So how will a mother feel if the child says, you studied for a year, and then he says, I'm not going to go and do the final examination? That's exactly how Krishna is feeling, and that's exactly how Arjuna is behaving, that he doesn't want to fight. And this is going to, in the material world, if he doesn't do the examination, one academic year goes. And if Arjuna doesn't fight, it leads to infamy.
Yes.
And the mother cries, my son won't go to the examination.
Thank you, Mataji.
This is exactly that situation.
Okay. Nice point. So Mantra Mataji has added. So to summarize, let me just go to Mayadevi Mataji's point once, and then I'll come to Sumantra Mataji's point. So Mayadevi Mataji's point was she brought about this point about the higher planets and detachment. Okay, let's talk about the higher planets, because something Krishna is like actually hinting something about the higher planets also, isn't it? He said, Anarya Justam Asvargyam Akirtikaram Arjuna. Means your behavior or this kind of lamentation and giving up the war is not going to lead you to higher planets, and it's actually going to give you infamy. So now my counter question is to all of you. So then what is the kind of behavior that a Kshatriya should do to go to higher planetary systems? I mean, that's what it means, no? Indirectly saying, this behavior won't take you to higher planetary systems. That means there is some other behavior which does. What is that? Anybody can say.
Our duty, like our assigned duty as a Kshatriya, his duty was to fight the war rather than look at who's standing against him. His duty was to actually take up the work assigned by the Lord. I don't know. Is that
Yeah.
Prabhuji, I just wanted to add up here.
Yes.
Krishna explains here very clearly. He also says that there are two categories, that is Aryan kind of people and non-Aryan kind of people. Aryan kind of people they know the value of life, and they have established a civilization based on the spiritual realizations, right? And non-Aryans are nothing but they just see the material conception of life, and they do not know what is the aim of life or realization of absolute truth or liberation. They don't know anything. So in our life, Krishna is hinting that in our life, we have to be like Aryans. We need to be like Aryans. And there is only one Bhagavan, that is Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and that is the absolute truth. And our aim should be of liberation, to get liberated from this material world. So that is what I understood, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Sure, Mataji. Thank you.
Prabhuji, just wanted to add
Yes,
one.
go ahead.
Hare Krishna. So,
Yes, Mataji.
in most of the conversations or the inputs that we get from Bhagavad Gita, many times dharma, the word has been emphasized upon a lot. So what my understanding or takeaway from here is that by the things that a Kshatriya should do is be on the side of dharma or do anything which is in sync with dharma. So when Arjuna is refusing to fight somewhere, it is not being with dharma. So that is perhaps what the god is indicating towards in some way, is what I understand from this.
Sure.
That a Kshatriya should be doing his dharma, and his dharma is to fight against those who are on the adharma side.
Right. Okay, that's nice. That's an interesting point. So I have a counter question to all of you now. So then what is dharma?
No, we see, Prabhu, although Krishna is telling Arjuna, who is a Kshatriya, I think it is equally applicable to all of us. Suppose I am a doctor, let's say I'm a judge, and my son or somebody has done some big mistake and is in this thing. So I should not look at him, oh, my son is there, let me be favorable to him. If he is, what do you say, fit for not fit. So if he's fit for a hanging or something, I should go ahead and do it. That is the dharma which we should follow. We should not think, oh, he is my teacher, he is my son, he is my uncle. So here Arjuna is becoming a little materialistic. He is not getting the whole big picture. That is why he is becoming that weakness, confusion, and all that. Probably this happens to all of us, I think. Sometimes in some critical, suppose I'm a teacher, my son is I'm correcting his papers. I should do it without any favor. Similarly, I'm a judge, I should do it without any favor. I'm a politician, I should work without any favor as a duty. Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for adding. I would like to hear more views on what is dharma. In general, just general understanding of what is dharma.
Prabhuji, dharma is to do one's duty in whatever form of life we are, or whatever role we are playing in that life on the path of righteousness. And we should deliver our duties sincerely. That is what I understand of what dharma is, but it's a very big word and cannot be explained in such a short
I know. Yeah. No problem.
Yeah.
I understand that.
So,
Yes, that's true. It's a very, very big, very broad term, and it's very difficult to define it in very short. Yeah. Anybody else? What's your take on dharma? Right? We're talking about dharma. Krishna is talking about dharma. Krishna is saying that it's not expected from Kshatriya dharma that you are supposed to be running away from your duty. So what's that dharma? What exactly is dharma? Okay, I'll add some points. So actually dharma, it said in Bhagavatam, it said dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranito. Means dharma cannot be manufactured by human beings. Dharma is given by Krishna. Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranito. Krishna gives what is dharma. We cannot create what is dharma. So one example of understanding dharma is very simple. So dharma of fire is to be hot, right? So if I switch, if I turn, if there is fire, I expect that it is hot. If it is not hot, then basically the dharma is violated. I mean, the dharma of that fire is violated at least, right? So, or in our modern terminology, you can call it professionalism. We say that it's not professional to do this, it's not professional to do that. So professionalism is, there is a profession, and that profession is expected to do this, right? Just like I have an iron box, right? Iron box, I buy it, I switch it on, and I start ironing. It should be working. If I switch on, I have an AC and I'm using this AC, or I have a mosquito repellent, I'm switching it on, it should be basically stopping the mosquitoes. That's the basic expectation. So here Kshatriya, this Arjuna is a Kshatriya, and he's supposed to be fighting, right? The dharma of Kshatriya is to fight. There are different dharmas also that Krishna explains. What is the dharma of a Kshatriya, right? That is explained in the 18th chapter. What are the different functions of Kshatriya? One of the important thing is taking Kshatriya. Kshat means protection. Kshatriya means protection of all the people, praja, from inflicting of miseries by others or some from unlawful people, etc. So they are supposed to be the judges, they are supposed to be the administrators, they are supposed to be very resourceful and very valorous also. And the best death that's explained for a Kshatriya in the Vedas is that they die in the war field. It's actually very condemned. If a Kshatriya dies on a bed, then it is very much condemned. A Kshatriya is supposed to be dying on the war field, just like how Bhishma Pitamaha died, right? He didn't want to go back. He could have said, Bhishma would have said, okay, take me home. I want to be in the ICU. No, he said, I will be in the war field only. I will not move from here. Let my body be here only, let the arrows be here. That is their dharma. Okay, so that's why Krishna is saying. So, but this is just like a materialistic angle of it, that those people, those Kshatriyas who fight the war, right, without turning their back, they go to the higher planetary system. Means, so now coming to the other point, that so we have something called as this karma. This the Vedas, that means they're describing what we must be doing, what we must not be doing. And when we do what the Vedas say, then we apparently go to the heavenly planets. Now my question is, how do we get out of the heaven planets and go to Krishna's world? Right? If we follow the Vedas, whatever the Vedas are telling, do like this, be charitable. For example, for householders, dharma is be charitable. Okay, I will do charity. I will be nice. Fine. Now, what will happen to me? Will I go back to Godhead? What do you think? What is it that is missing? What is that link that is necessary to go back to Godhead? Is just dharma is enough? Is just dharma enough? Or it's just my doing my karma is enough? Or what exactly is missing?
I think Krishna consciousness.
Krishna consciousness. Yes. Can you please more elaborate?
Whatever work I do, I first remember Krishna and do in his name only, so that no sins are attached to me.
Yeah. Basically doing it for Krishna. Yes. Anybody else wants to add?
Work
So
is
it's just,
worship.
yeah. Yes, Mataji.
Work is worship, like
We have to worship Krishna also. Yes, we have to worship Krishna also. We have to remember Krishna. We have to remember Krishna, and then that, yeah, that's there. Yes, that's the another angle. Yes, this is, we are talking from a karma yoga point of view. That is a bhakti yoga point of view. That's still higher actually. Yes, that is a sure short way to get liberated. At least karma yoga leads to bhakti yoga, supposed to be, right? In Bhagavatam it is said, if somebody does not get attachment to the stories of Krishna, whatever occupational duties that person has done all his life is actually a useless labor. So what does that statement mean if we invert that logic? Anybody can invert that logic and tell what exactly it means then? So it means, if I just negate it, it means if you do your work properly, you will get attraction towards Krishna's bhakti. Can I say that? Is that wrong to say? Anybody has any objection?
No, correct.
Yeah. So if you do our work properly, I mean, if you're doing your karma yoga is leading towards bhakti yoga, where you are getting loving devotional service to Krishna. You're getting attracted towards Krishna, attracted towards the names and stories of Krishna. So that is like the natural progression. It's like a ladder, you see, karma ladder, one by step like that. But of course, in Krishna consciousness, we are very lucky. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given it directly to us and we do bhakti directly. But talking from this sloka point of view, right, where Krishna is emphasizing on karma, right? So let us get back to this discussion. So Mayadevi Mataji was saying that strive to lead to the higher planets, right? And lamentation is a waste of time. So somewhere Krishna is definitely hinting that I just cannot believe it, right? So idam means kashmalam idam, kutastva kashmalam idam. I can't believe you are getting lamentation in this hour of crisis. So like, yeah, Mataji made an interesting comment that lamentation is not good because Krishna doesn't like lamentation, right? So anybody wants to add some points on that? Mataji said some interesting points. So lamentation actually wastes our time, right? Anybody wants to add some points on lamentation? So is it good to lament or okay to lament little bit or bad? What do you think? Any points you want to add, anybody?
It is a weakness.
It's a weakness.
It is a weakness.
It's a weakness. Yeah.
And also thinking from the material point of view, I think, Prabhu.
Yes, it's an indication of a weakness also. But if we are lamenting too much for something, that means there is some kind of attachment that we have, or maybe there's some lack of knowledge, or maybe lack of mental strength also. That's lamentation is not supposed to be done. I mean, at least Arjuna being such a strong warrior, such a strong Kshatriya, he should not be lamenting about all this. I mean, he must be professional. That's what we say, in our office. Be professional. Hey, come on, be professional. Right? So Arjuna, he must be professional. Right? He's a professional fighter, professional warrior. He must act like one. Right? So now, Nitya Mataji had made an interesting comment on Aryans versus non-Aryans. So what is this Aryan, non-Aryan? What do you think? What is your understanding of Aryan, non-Aryan? Is it like the same as what the Germans are, they propagated this Aryan supremacy and they made the world war. So is it the same thing? What exactly is this? Anybody wants to? I mean, Nitya Mataji, you told your point. I would like others to just comment on that. What is this Aryan, non-Aryan thing? Why is Krishna saying that? Anarya justam asvargyam. He said Anarya. Means that's not Arya. He used it to indicate as if you're not an Arya, it's like not good. What is Arya then? So let me just read from here. So Aryans, I'm just reading this purport again. It says, such impurities were never expected from a person belonging to a civilized class of men known as Aryans. So Prabhupada is saying, those people who are very civilized, they are called Aryans. That is, who are following the Vedic culture, right? At least who are following Krishna, they are supposed to be called Aryans. And it is applicable to persons who know the value of life and have a civilization based on spiritual realization. What is the meaning of civilization based on spiritual realization? Does that mean that maybe the Western civilization is not based on spiritual civilization? Or what do you think? Any comments there? Hare Krishna. Okay, I'll ask somebody. What is your take on this, Shailaja Mataji? What do you think? Is it like, is every society in the world centered around spiritual realization like the Vedic culture? What is your take on that? Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, I don't know about all the societies or all the cultures. If we talk about West, mostly I have not come across many people who believe into this spirituality and spiritual realization. But yes, Am I audible, Prabhuji?
Yeah, suddenly I lost you for
Okay,
10
I think there
seconds.
was some network issue.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just repeat. I'm not sure about all the societies or cultures in the world, but as you asked about the Western culture, so I haven't come across many people who are spiritually realized, but there are small groups or communities who are getting that kind of consciousness, or getting influenced, or getting into that kind of company through which they are moving towards that path of getting spiritually realized. And in different small pockets of the world, it's spreading it in its own way, but maybe any particular culture is not fully spiritually realized, but it's very prominent in our country as India, because this is the land where the origin of all these things happen. So somewhere I also feel proud to be a part of that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes. Anyone wants to add something to this? How is it that Vedic culture is centered around spiritual realization? Anybody can add some examples of that? Right? So just very simple it is, right? See, Indian, Prabhupada also says this, right? So even, a vendor in the street knows about rebirth, right? Everybody knows about karma. Right? So we have almost like explanation for everybody. You ask even somebody like randomly on the street, what is the greatest thing that we can achieve in life? They will say liberation. This much they will say. They will say everybody believes in rebirth. Everybody believes in karma. Right? So of course, they may not be following or taking up that path that it is required, but they are at least acquainted with the ABCDs of what is spiritual realization. We see that, this Varna, Ashrama, Dharma, whatever we are following, the Vedic system that is created by Krishna, Varna, Ashrama system. I don't know about the Varna system, but the Ashrama system is very much relevant still today. Right? How, the Brahmachari and the Grihastha and the renounced, right? And the sannyasis, we see them, right? Who are renounced people, right? So during the Brahmacharya, it's a life of celibacy and acquiring knowledge. Then the next is the life of married life. And during the married life also, we see that a lot of religious activities are being performed by the husband and wife, right? Of course, not up to the expected standard, but more or less something is being done in the name of religion, right? So at least people know that, this is supposed to be done. At least in India, they know that, if I become old, I'm supposed to be doing this something spiritual, something, at least they know that much, right? So this is a civilization which is centered around spirituality. And like somebody said, like Shalja Mataji said, we should be really proud of this civilization. We're born in this civilization. And you see that Rishikesh, Haridwar, there's so many spiritual cities, like, people from all over the world throng there, for getting a taste of this spiritual life, right? And yoga is such a common thing. It's just come from India, right? That's very interesting. Okay, so I would like to hear more points. Who can speak? Amrita Mataji, we want to hear from you. What was the summary of what you think it is, this total verse about? And also the purport. We read a lot of points in the purport also. If you can tell some points.
Not much, Prabhuji. What I feel, we have to do our duty and be in Krishna consciousness all the time. Only that much I'm getting.
Sure. Okay, so here we have something called as Bhagavan. So Prabhupada is writing about what is called as Bhagavan, right? So what was the comments on that? I'll just read that. Okay, I'll just read that. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, Krishna is referred to as Bhagavan throughout the Gita. Bhagavan is the ultimate in the absolute truth. The absolute truth is realized in three phases of understanding, namely Brahman, or the impersonal, all-pervasive spirit, Paramatma, or the localized aspect of the Supreme, within the heart of all living entities, and Bhagavan, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna. Anybody wants to, I want somebody to talk about this. The three aspects of absolute truth, three phases.
Prabhuji, can I just add here?
Yes, please.
Can I take that? So here, Krishna is trying to tell that, so there is one Supreme Personality of Godhead. Bhagavan, that is, it's the absolute truth, and it can be understood or realized in three phases. It is Brahman, Paramatma, or Bhagavan. To simplify and make us understand still clear, Krishna himself is giving example of sun. So if you are a student and if you're studying about sunshine, there is three layers in sun, like sunshine, sun surface, or sun disk, or sun planet itself. So if you're a student, if you're studying only the sunshine, you are considered as a preliminary student, and that is nothing but it is a Brahman stage. And if you're a advanced student who's studying the sun surface or sun disk, you are considered as an advanced student, and that is nothing but the bhaktas or the Paramatma stage. And if you're if you're still advanced or highest, if you're studying the sun planet itself, the three layers of sun, no, sunshine, sun surface, and sun planet itself. If you're studying sun planet itself, that is what actually the sun is, then you're into the highest stage, and that is nothing but Bhagavan. That is nothing but Bhagavan realization. So he tries to explain by giving sun as an example. And
Who is explaining?
Bhagavan,
Yes, Mataji. Who is
Krishna
explaining?
himself is. This is given by Bhagavan. The term was given by Parashara Muni, who is the father of Vyasadeva. He is explaining. He's trying to explain us what is absolute truth and how is this Brahman, Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan is within us or something. This is what I understood,
Yes.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Nice, Mataji. Everything is nice. Small correction. Actually, Krishna is not telling the example of the sun, sunshine, and sun disk. It is told by Srila Prabhupada in the purport. Okay. So nice points.
Okay.
Yeah. Nice points about these three aspects. Very important concept. Devotees. Vadanti tat tattvavidas tattvam yajnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti sabjate. If we just understand this verse, we will understand the entire this Sanatana Dharma. Entire Sanatana Dharma. And all the conflicts will be resolved.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Sorry for interruption.
No
I
problem.
just have a doubt here.
Yes.
The word Bhagavan was given by Parashara Muni, right? He gave
Yes,
the
the
word
definition.
Bhagavan.
He has
And
given the definition for Bhagavan.
he
Yes.
also described that all riches, all strength, all family,
Correct.
all this. Okay, fine. Thank you,
Correct.
Prabhuji.
Yes.
Hare Krishna. This clarification was there.
Sure. You want to say about the Bhagavan term little bit? Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
No, Prabhuji, I just wanted to know that is okay. Here, Bhagavan word was given by Parashara Muni, the father of Vyasadeva.
Correct.
He just gave and he also defined it, telling that Bhagavan means one who possesses all riches, all strength, all fame, all beauty, all knowledge, and all renunciation. So next to Bhagavan, after that only even Brahma and Shiva or Narayana is not equal to Bhagavan, the term Bhagavan. So that is what I understood. This is what is given, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, nice point. Very nice, Mataji. Nicely picked up. So the point here is this. See, until we understand this shloka that I am talking about, the three aspects of absolute truth, we will not be able to understand Sanatana Dharma, and we will get into a lot of conflicting ideologies and we'll be completely lost. So the thing is, because there are a lot of people saying different philosophies, right? Some people say, oh, God is light, God is impersonal, God we cannot see, he doesn't have a form like us. No, he's not, he doesn't have any form, he's just light, that's it. That's one. And some people say, guess God, I know God. God is like who is staying in the heart of everybody. That is God. Right? Somebody says, oh, God is like somebody who stays in the heaven. Or somebody says, no, God is somebody who stays in the spiritual world. Different understandings, right? Or God is this, God is that. So many things are there. If we understand this verse, we'll understand the entire Sanatana Dharma. That is Vadanti tat tattva vidas tattvam yajnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti shabdate. This is Srimad Bhagavatam. Supreme absolute truth, that is called Paratattva, can be understood in three phases. First one is, Mataji said, Brahman. That is impersonal Brahman, impersonal Brahman. Right? And second one is Paramatma. Paramatma is a localized super soul. Localized super soul means super soul who is staying in the heart of every living entity. Right? Third one is Bhagavan. Bhagavan means Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is staying in his own abode. Krishna stays in his own abode. He doesn't stay in the material world, right? He stays in his own abode. That is Golok Vrindavan. That is Krishna, right? He's staying there in his abode, but at the same time, his expansion is there in our hearts. That is Paramatma. And at the same time, in the impersonal feature, in the form of his energy, is all pervading around us. You see how Krishna has covered us completely? Krishna is originally in his abode, Golok Vrindavan, and his expansion, Paramatma plenary portion expansion, is in the heart of every living entity. He is always with me, right? And with you. And his energy is the impersonal Brahman. That is all pervading. All the energies around him. Whatever we are seeing is actually the energy of the Supreme Personality of God. Right? So everything is Krishna. Any questions here?
Prabhu, all these three words are identical then?
They are not identical, but they are actually referring to the same person, different aspects of the same personality. So Brahman is also Krishna, Paramatma is also Krishna, Bhagavan is also Krishna, but different faces of Krishna or different features of Krishna. Right? How they are different, I told you, how they are different is this Brahman is impersonal. It doesn't have a form. It is pervading everywhere. Right? If you ask heat of the fire, taste of water. So does it have a form? Taste of water, heat of fire, or light of the sun? Does it have? Right? Splendor of the sun and the moon? No, it doesn't have a form. There's no form there. Right? That is his Brahman form. That is the impersonal form. That is his impersonal form. In his impersonal form, he is pervading everywhere. And in the Paramatma form, he is in the heart of living entities. Right? And in the Bhagavan form, he is enjoying in the spiritual world. Or when he comes and when he takes an incarnation, and Krishna comes in front of the eyes, doing pastimes, that is Bhagavan. Is that clear? Mataji?
Yes, very clear.
Yeah, very nice. There is one example of sun disk, and the sunshine. Right? Can you repeat that once more, Nitya Mataji? How do you relate sunshine, sun disk,
Yes,
and
yes,
sun planet with this Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan?
yeah, actually, sun has three layers. We can take it like this. Like it has sunshine and also sun surface, which is nothing but sun disk. And if you go internally, sun planet itself. So that is the three things. And if you're a student who is studying only the sunshine, that is, you are considered as a preliminary student. And if you're a little advanced student who is studying sun surface or sun disk, you are a little advanced student. And if you want to study sun itself, you are into highest. So this preliminary student is nothing but, Prabhupada says, his Brahman. And this advanced student is what is nothing but this bhaktas or Paramatma. And this highest is nothing but the Bhagavan, or a higher planetary system where Bhagavan, Supreme Personality of Godhead, is there as Bhagavan. This is how I understood,
Yeah.
Prabhuji.
Okay,
Sorry
Mataji.
if there
No
is
problem.
any
No problem. Yeah, small
mistake.
corrections. Yeah, no
Please
problem.
correct me.
No problem. So small correction here. So the thing is, see this, the first feature that we saw, sunshine. See, if we are trying to understand the sun, if you see the sunshine also is not different from sun, is it not? The sunshine is coming from the sun. And the sunshine has no form, right? That we can compare it with the impersonal Brahman. Right? The first aspect of realization, impersonal Brahman. Second one is the sun disk, right? That is can be compared with the Paramatma realization. Means it is a little deeper, more understanding you are getting, right? That, the personal form of the Lord, right? The four-handed form of the Lord. That is the Paramatma realization. Next, Bhagavan realization. Bhagavan is like the sun planet itself. That's the best. You have understood the complete picture, right? So I'll tell one another example. One simple thing. So I don't know how many of you wear spectacles. So, but if you wear spectacles, you will have an experience of going and doing that optometric test, right? So you sit down in the optometrician, and that guy will just scroll ABCD. He'll show ABCD. Big letters are there. First you will see, and then he'll be changing the glasses, right? He'll put the glass number 1. First of all, you're not able to see anything. I'll say, I can't see even the biggest one. Please put some glass. Then he'll put some glass. So yes, I can see the first letters. A, B, C, D. Okay, this is fine. Next, you'll scroll little up. Second letter, can you read? I'll say, no, it's small. I can't read. Put another lens. Then he'll put another lens. Then I have more clarity. Yes, I can see now. That I can see. Then a little bit he'll scroll up, and then he'll ask, are you able to see now? Small? No, I can't see. He'll put another lens. I can see everything clearly. So like that, it's the same thing, but different levels of clarity, different levels of vision. So just like when it is very blurred, it's just, I can just see broadly, okay, broadly spirituality. Broadly, God is like light. He's impersonal. He's pervading everywhere. Finished. I don't want to get into the controversy of what is a form of God. That much. I'm happy with this much. I'm happy with that broad letters A, B, C, D. That is enough for me. I don't want to read small letters. This is Brahman realization. Little bit more. I want to go deeper. No, that's not enough. Okay, God is impersonal, but there must be some personal aspect to it. What is that? That is Paramatma. And 100% full clarity. Here is Krishna, 200 form Krishna, right? Bhagavan. So Bhagavan realization means complete realization, right? So that is the thing. Okay, so
Prabhu, you have to address Krishna as Bhagavan only then.
Yes, we have to address Krishna as Bhagavan only, but that will be an indirect address to him. Because Krishna likes to be called by his names. If we call Krishna by Bhagavan or Ishvara or Paramatma or Chaitanya, of course Chaitanya is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, not that way. But in an indirect way, if we call him, Krishna doesn't like it. He likes to be called in his direct names, like Krishna, Govinda, like that.
Okay.
Got it, no?
Prabhuji, can I give another example?
Yes, please, go ahead.
The train, the example of the train. When you're at a station, you realize that the train is coming. So you make a form, the train is coming, but you haven't seen the train. So that is the Brahman form. And when the train comes to the station, closer to the station, you realize, oh, it's the train, it's got bogies, it's got this thing. And then when the train comes and when you enter the bogie, you know what the train is. So it is the 3 phases of the Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan.
Haribol. Very nice,
and actually, there was another example of the tree, but I forget, Prabhu. If I come across it again sometime, I'll give it to you. Sure,
Mataji. Sure. Thank you very much. So actually, there's no conflict at all in the spiritual different schools of thoughts of spirituality. Some are saying impersonal, some are saying personal, some are saying this, that. So there's no conflict at all. The conflict is only at the level of how deep they're going. That's it. No, for our good fortune, we are following Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Srila Prabhupada, who has given us this Bhagavan realization. And when the person who has the Bhagavan realization, we know who is Krishna, who is God. We know who is God. What is his name? We know. What is his form? We know. What is his story? We know. We know so much that people don't know. People from different cultures, the Prabhupada used to go to different West and he used to ask, yeah, you know that God is great, but do you know how great the God is? But we know the name of God. We know his address. We know his father's name. We know his mother's name. Do you know? He used to ask. No, we don't know. Right. So this is Bhagavatam. This is Bhagavad Gita. So this is a wonderful gift that we have got, right, from Srila Prabhupada and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that we have such intimate information about God. While people are just thinking, I don't know who God is, but whoever you are, God, please help me. But we are directly addressing God. Oh Krishna, oh Govinda, please help me. Right? So we are very fortunate in that way. Okay. So that was about today's verse. Any closing comments or any questions before we stop the class for today?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, this is like really good because, like I have attended literally like four times I have attended Bhagavad Gita classes, but then when we come to these classes, I get like a different kind of understanding. So these are really good. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Sure, Mataji. Thank you very much. Keep joining, everyone, all of you. Please keep joining this. Every Sunday, we'll have these classes and we'll take one verse. Okay. And we'll try to understand that verse properly. We'll discuss. I want more participation. You also prepare and come this time, everyone. Or at the time of reading, you can jot down some points and just tell your understanding like that. Okay. Then we'll build upon that discussion and we'll have much better clarity. So coming up is very interesting verse for the next discussion. Very, very interesting verses are coming where Arjuna is going to surrender to Krishna and Krishna is going to instruct about the soul. So many amazing things are going to come. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Have a nice week ahead. Have a nice Krishna conscious week ahead. I hope you have a very blissful time, all of you. Thank you very much for joining.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
You
Krishna.
took me back. You took me back to old days when we used to have Bhakti Shastri, and every Vaibhav Sari, and used to be at rickshaw, listen. And we used to be at every each one place home, and my classes were taken by Madhusudan Prabhu. And that's the way I used to keep fighting with them every day. ऐसा नहीं होता प्रभु, ऐसा नहीं होता. So like almost 35 years back, सबके यहाँ प्रसाद खाते थे प्रभु. Now it's online, and that time it used to be personal. हर एक के घर पे रहते थे. So, thank you, Prabhu. I'm going to ring up Madhusudan and tell him, like, yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay.